welcome to CoronaQuiz. I'm Dame Helen Mirren. You would. CoronaQuiz's usual host, Chris, unfortunately cannot be here today as he was gunned down by an unknown assailant and the assailant's two grandchildren, Harry and Wills, last week.
I'm going to turn the screen up. Look, nobody's recording anymore.
It's
you don't need to do it.
too late for that now.
No. Wait!
Immediately following the shooting, he was rushed to Willesden General Hospital, where surgeons tried valiantly to save his life until they were distracted by a funny meme. A later investigation by the Clinical Practice Board found that the meme was, in fact, piss funny and that no charges should be brought against the surgeon. Chris, seen here sneezing, was an avid fan of the quiz format and he adored his fans. Therefore, this episode will be used as a tribute to him. A nation bereft. Tributes flooded in from one side of the Atlantic, and fans of CoronaQuiz and Chris took to social to express their grief.
Who?
Who is it?
What? Who?
Who is this?
Who?
What? No. Who is this?
Who? Who is this?
Although only one fan filmed in the correct aspect ratio. However, in honour of his memory, we will also be running this as a usual quiz, so please do, as he would have said, be honest about your answers. Let's begin by taking a quick trip down memory lane to the origins of CoronaQuiz back in the 1930s. The 1930s were a veritable heyday of entertainment and quiz shows. The very first episode of CoronaQuiz with Chris aired on May the 25th, 1937, although there were yet to be some kinks ironed out.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to CoronaQuiz with Chris. My name is Roger Battenborough. His Majesty the King expects that you express your answers strictly. The first round is news and current affairs. And the question is, in this, the year of our Lord 1937, who is the Chancellor of Germany, our stalwart ally? I shall repeat that. Who is the current Chancellor of our stalwart ally, Germany?
By the 70s, the show had been retooled into a game show based around Skittles. Hosted by Barry Edwards, Britain's favourite racist, the show ran for an impressive 78 seasons.
Evening all, welcome to CoronaQuiz with Chris. I am Barry and we're in for another night of quizzing fun. Oh yeah!
Due to the racist, sexist and homophobic nature of England in the 1970s, these clips have been edited.
Alright, well, just before we meet our contestants, I've got to warn you about one of them. I think he's one of those. It's all very strange. And moving on to round two, which is all about fannies. So I want you to take a look at these pictures. And I said to him, you come round here with that
Helpful demeanour and nice smile as befits a multicultural Britain.
filthy character, even though I
Don't understand your traditions or values. It's important that we respect one another.
bit of a dicky tummy. Alright, and since it is 1979, why don't we have a current affairs question? So, question 2 in using current affairs, who's the current Prime Minister this year? So, considering it is 1979, who is the current Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? I'll tell you what, United Kingdom though, right? It won't be if we continue to...
The show was eventually cancelled for not being racist enough. In the tail end of 2019, a young quiz enthusiast and masturbator named Chris Sutcliffe filmed a pilot for a new version of CoronaQuiz and sent it to the BBC.
And now on to question 3, which is,
how many wings? How many wings does a death's head moth have? That's question 3. That's question 3 for how many wings does a death's head moth have? Chris sent the pilot tape into the BBC, where against all the odds, it was commissioned. It was later discovered that the commissioning editor had in fact been receiving a handjob under the table and had forgotten to mute his microphone. By the time the mistake had been realised, the damage was done. And so it was that on March 30th, 2020 probably, the first episode of CoronaQuiz went live. Hello everybody, and welcome to this, the very first episode of CoronaQuiz with Chris. It was crap. Let's watch. Question number 4. According to data from Durex, Freddie, you shouldn't be listening, what is the most adulterous country in the world? According to data from Durex, what is the most adulterous country in the world? But Chris was unprepared for the trappings of fame, and despite a celebrated friendship with pop star Taylor Swift, he soon found himself forced into endorsement deals which did nothing but harm his credibility. Hey, it's Chris from CoronaQuiz. Got a question for you. What's the biggest fish in the world? Question 5, what's the biggest fish in the world? Well, the reason I ask is because Flopacana squeeze 5 of its bladders into every single glass of their new fish juice, which is fantastic. I'm Helen Mirren again. Who you would? You would. Despite all those setbacks, Chris soldiered on, pioneering new quiz formats like the Mind Maze and One Song to the Tune of Another, and even the legally distinct Connecto, which was a fan favourite. Before his death, he had pre-recorded one final Connecto, which we're going to show you in its entirety now. Please do interact with him as though this were a live section, because it might help with the grieving process. Remember, you would. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second round of the quiz, which we're recording mid-May, probably. Pre-recording this mid-May. I tell you what, there's just something so exciting about life at the moment, isn't there? I am just so excited to be alive. It really is a fantastic world, and God, I'd hate to be taken from it before my time. Anyway, we're going to be doing the legally distinct Connecto round now. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, I want you to answer these questions, and then there's a link, a connection. There's a Connecto that bridges, that attaches each answer to one another. There's no links involved. So I'm going to ask you these questions. Please answer them strictly. Be strict, and then I'll let you know what the link is at the end. If you get the link, you double your points for this round. You double your points for this round. So please do bear that in mind. So question number 1 in the Connecto round. Sacramento. Oh, apologies to Nolly's family for the previous section. Sacramento, Los Angeles, and San Diego are all cities in which US state? So Sacramento, Los Angeles, and San Diego are all cities in which US state? Question number 7. If you don't wear any underwear, you could be said to be going what? If you don't wear any underwear, you could be said... I don't know if you could hear that. My flatmate's watching something upstairs. It's very loud. If you don't wear any underwear, you could be said to be going what? Question number 8. The soleus muscle, gracis muscle, and adductor magnus muscle can all be found in which part of the body? I wish my handwriting was better. The soleus muscle, gracilis muscle, and adductor magnus muscle can all be found in which part of the body? Which part of the body? And question number 9. Donald and Douglas, Tia and Tamara, and Mary Kate and Ashley are all what? How do you describe them? So Donald and Douglas, Tia and Tamara, and Mary Kate and Ashley. How do you describe them? One word. And the third film in the long-running science fiction film franchise, the third film in which long-running science fiction film franchise was subtitled Rise of the Machines. The third film in which long-running science fiction film franchise was subtitled Rise of the Machines. What we're gonna do now is I'm gonna play an ad for whatever we've decided to play next week when I'll still be alive, and then I suppose we'll do the answers to the first 2 rounds. We'll do the answers to the first 2 rounds. God, I love having all my blood in me. It's me, Helen Mirren again. Tributes have continued to pour in.
What? No. Who are you?
What? No. Who's this? What? No. Who's this?
And I'd like to add one myself, if you don't mind. And it seemed to me that you lived your life like a Seychelles candle from the White Company. So I hope you've got all those answers together, because we're going to be doing we're going to be going through those answers now. So to this hypothetical news and current affairs round, which might take place, say, in a tribute to a beloved game show host, the first answer, who was Chancellor of Germany in 1937? That was a bad egg called Adolf Hitler. A bad egg called Adolf Hitler. Question number 2, who was Prime Minister in 1979? Well, there were 2, so you can have either, but the answer I was really looking for was Maggie Thatcher. It was Maggie Thatcher. And I can't remember the name of the other guy. Look it up, and if you got it right, then give yourself the point. Be strict. Be strict. It's really no fun unless you're like taking it seriously. Really no fun. Question number 3. How many wings does the Death's Head moth have? Famously on the poster for Silence of the Lambs. 4 wings. 4 wings. That is so loud. What? Foot. Question... What? Question number 4. What is the most adulterous country in the world? This is a bit of a throwback to the very first episode. That's Thailand. Thailand. And the second is Denmark. And what is the largest fish in the world? It's the whale shark. It's the whale shark. So now moving on to mark those up, top those up. And please do send your final scores at the end through to... oh, I don't have it. Never mind. I have this picture of Diana Dawes instead. Michael Foot, apparently. So moving on now to the Connector round. Sacramento, Los Angeles, and San Diego are all cities in which US state? California. California. So as we go along, start thinking, what is the connection? What could this connection be? You should have written it down already, though. You won't get points if you write it down now. Question number 2. If you don't wear any underwear, you could be said to be going what? You could be said to be going what? The soleus muscle and abductor magnus muscle can all be found in which part of the body? The leg. The leg. Donald and Douglas, Tia and Tamara, and Mary Kate and Ashley are all twins. They're all twins. And the third film in which long-running science fiction film franchise was subtitled Rise of the Machines? So the third film in which long-running science fiction film franchise was subtitled Rise of the Machines. Well, that was Terminator. So what links the answers California, Commando, Muscles, Twins, and Machines, Rise of the Machines? Well, obviously, the answer is the derriere, the arse, the bottom. I assume you all got that. Let's go through them. So, California is most associated with cowboys. What do cowboys wear? Assless chaps. Question number 2, Commando. That's self-explanatory. If you go in Commando, you don't have the necessary support for your backside. Question number 3, Muscle. The largest and most vital the largest and most vital muscle in the body is the buttocks. Twins, again, that's self-explanatory. And Machines, Rise of the Machines. What do machines use? They use plugs, and it's the opinion of leading scientists now that the human bottom evolved with plugs in mind. So again, apologies to Noel's family, who I didn't know were going to be watching until very late. So add up your scores for that, and then I tell you what, let's watch an old favourite while we get, as though we're paying tribute to CoronaQuiz for some reason. Let's watch an old favourite, and then we'll get on with the next round. Little bit of chanting there from the Brazil fans, but this game has yet to really come to life. Well, you're not wrong. I think when we heard that Pepe Vargas would be making his international debut tonight, we all expected, well, something from the young number 9. And you only have to look at his recent performances for Santos to see why. He has a way of driving up the field into spots where his opposite number would never expect to find him. He finds holes that you'd never know were there from looking. Well, he plays the length of the pitch, so as expected he's always... Length is the name of the game, and this man has it in spades. But he's not afraid to go deep, is he? Oh, no. I remember watching him taking a running start and going deep into Vitoria's half. It was a sight to behold. It was beautiful but ruthless play, and it was a long time before they could get him out again. Powerful. Powerful is the word. Or vascular. Unfortunately, none of that here tonight. I think we're all hoping to see his bravery on display. Well, I have a suspicion we'll all be intimately familiar with his guts by the end of the season. Little tap from him.
Do you get the impression we've done this before?
We've commentated hundreds of matches.
No, I mean this exact bit with the euphemisms and everything.
No, I don't know what you're...
Ah, you do. I can see it in your eyes.
You need to stop this now.
What are you not telling me?
You're asking questions that should never be asked.
What do you... Oh my... Who's that out there? Who's watching this?
Don't look at them.
Oh my god!
They're just viewers.
There's like 3 or 4 people per household
Listen, you're going to get us found out. You're going to get us found out. At his time of death, Chris was still attempting to experiment with the quiz format. Hey everybody, it's Chris here. We're trying something new, so what I want you to do is I want you to go and get your 3D specs that you got free in this week's Observer, because we're going to do the 3D round. 1, 2. So what's going to happen is I'm going to ask a question. I get you. I got you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a question, and I want you to answer it. And the question... This is brilliant. And the question is, question 11, what was the first year that 3D technology was available was available in cinemas? So what was the first year that 3D technology was available in cinemas? What's the first year? You're gonna have to pretend that I'm not breaking the fourth wall here. I didn't film another bit. With Helen Mirren. Moving on to question number 2 for this round, which is general knowledge. Which is the only day of the week that Which is the only day of the week whose name has an anagram? Which day of the week is the only day of the week that is an anagram? And what is the main ingredient in black pudding? So that's the next question. What is the main ingredient in black pudding? Question number 4 for this round. The UN was formed in 1945. But what organisation did it replace? What organisation did it replace? And question number 5, just because I am enjoying being alive so bloody much at the moment, all my blood in me, what's the meaning of life? What's the meaning of life? It's a bit of a big question, but I'm sure you'll find the answer. So what I want you to do is I want you to listen to me read out the answers, because I didn't do that very well. I'm going to read out the answers now to that round. And then after that, I want you to either post your final scores in the comments below, or I want you to text them to me, or I want you to put them on my Twitter, at Chris M. Sutcliffe. All right, so here are the answers. When was the first 3D film released? When was the first 3D film released? The answer will probably surprise you. It was 1922. 1922. That's pretty mental. I don't know how, but it was 1922. Which day of the week is the only day of the week that is an anagram of another word? Monday. And it's dynamo. Dynamo. What is the main ingredient in black pudding? It's blood, which I'm loving having all of mine inside me. Oh, I love it. I hope that never changes. I hope, I don't know, say nobody ever commits a shooting on me, and I hope that they're not a member of the royal family. And the UN was formed in 1945. Which organisation did it replace? Which organisation did the United Nations replace? The League of Nations. The League of Nations. And question number 5, the final one. What is the meaning of life? Well, life is what you make of it. And I think you've all probably got very good answers of your own. So you can all have a free point for that. You can all have a free point. Now, before we get into the prize-giving ceremony, what I want you to do is post those scores in the bottom right, or text them to me, or put them on Twitter so I can see them. And then at the end, we'll decide who gets the prize. Oh, I've not told you what the prize is yet, but it's a good one this week because it's a special occasion. So while we wait for your answers to come in, let's take a look at what I assume would maybe be some, I don't know, tributes to a beloved game show host for whatever reason. Maybe Ted Rogers is dead again. I don't know.
And Chris took to social to express their grief.
Who?
Who is it?
What? Who?
Who is this?
Who?
What? No. Who is this?
Who? Who is this?
Although only one fan filmed in the correct aspect ratio.
You? What? No. Who are you?
What? No. Who's this? What? No. Who's this?
And I'd like to add one myself, if you don't mind. And it seemed to me that you lived your life like a Seychelles candle from the White Company.
Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of 9s and 11s, which suggests to me that I really failed as a quiz show host writing these now. So, I don't think anybody has actually got over 11. So the plan then is, whoever got 11, I will genuinely send you
a prize this time because I'm just so gosh damn happy to be alive, and will continue being that happy and alive for the foreseeable future. And you know what? Just as a thought, if for whatever reason this were to be the last ever episode of Corona Quiz with Chris, which it is. The reality is that I've had a really good time doing it. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of work. But if it's helped anybody not be quite so bored over the course of the last 10 weeks, this is the 9th episode, then that's my prize. That's my prize. So I suppose that all that's left to say is thank you very, very much. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Well, thank you all very much for coming along to this, the final ever episode of Corona Quiz. It's been an absolute pleasure having you. Please do stay safe. And now to play us out, the Corona Quiz cast members.
I am a one-way motorway that drives away, then follows you back home. I am a street light shining, white light blinding bright, burning off alone. A new day rising, I'm a brand new sky to hang the stars upon. I'm a little divided, do I stay or run away and leave it all behind? It's times like these you learn to live again. Times like these you give and give again. Times like these you learn to love again. It's times like these, time and time again. Times like these, times like these, times like these, times